guys, welcome back to another great episode of Sell Those Flipping Cars. I'm Zachary, and in today's episode, we're going to find out, are electric cars realistic for the everyday driver? Stay tuned, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to another great episode of Sell Those Flipping Cars. I'm Zachary, and in today's episode, something has came across my mind, and I wanted to know, did you guys think about it as well? Are electric cars realistic for the everyday commuter? And also, can you take road trips with them? I wanted to know, and if I want to know, I know you guys want to know, because electric cars are the future, okay? Besides what all of us hardcore gas monkeys think, you know, grease monkeys, gas monkeys. I love to race. I love to build cars. I mean, it's awesome. Everything about vehicles is amazing. Well, think about it. Think about it. An internal combustion engine, let's say a V8, you are causing 8 explosions that you are controlling to propel yourself down the road. Pretty amazing, right? But we went ahead and took the internal combustion engine and went ahead and took it up a notch to make electric vehicles. Okay, for everyone that doesn't know how electric vehicles work, you have a huge battery pack. Okay, and this battery pack is not like your normal car battery. It's not small. It actually takes up most of the bottom floorboard of electric vehicles because these things are massive. Okay, now you would think with it being an electric car, these things are going to be quite expensive. But I'm going to throw up a chart for you guys right now, and I want to actually walk through this with you guys. I went ahead and I seriously want to know, are electric vehicles realistic for the everyday commuter? And I went ahead and took 4 electric vehicles, okay? The Chevy Volt, the Tesla Model 3, the BMW i4, and the newly released Ford Mustang, which, by the way, does not look like any kind of Mustang I've ever seen, but who am I to judge? I'm just a mechanic, right? All right, so let's start off, okay? There's a couple things we want to know to find out, are electric cars good for everyday commuters? We got to know distance, we got to know the time it takes to charge, we got to know the price, and how many people can we seat in the vehicle. I'm not too worried about power, but I did throw power on there for you guys so you know what the horsepower is looking like on these electric vehicles. Because I don't know about you, but I know when I jump on the highway, I don't like being the slowest guy getting on the highway, okay? Because everyone else, they won't get out of the merge lane. They don't care you're trying to get on the highway. Here you're like, I'm trying to get in the lane. They don't care, dude. All right, so I want to know, do I have the power in an electric vehicle to merge safely onto the highway and not bother the flow of traffic? So let's go with the Chevy Volt, okay? First of all, power. What are we looking at? 200 horsepower in the Chevy Volt. Now, this is the 2022 Chevy Volt. Now, the distance that Chevy has actually put on this vehicle is 259 miles. Which isn't too bad because the annual average distance driven by most people in North America is 13,500 miles, okay? Now let's say you're that person and you travel the same amount of distance every single day of the year, 365 days, okay? That means you travel 36 miles per day. So obviously the Chevy Volt could do that with 259 miles on one charge. But after that charge is gone, what are you looking like on time to recharge this vehicle? And that's 7.5 hours at 220 volts. Okay, 220, guys. That means where your dryer hooks up, that's a 220. Yeah, I think a dryer is like the only thing that's a 220 in a normal house. I mean, my house is not. I mean, you got the welder, you got the dryer, you got, you know, everything, right? Everything loves 220 because it's a lot more power, a lot more amperage, a lot more volts, and which means that your vehicle is going to get charged up a lot quicker. Now, if you do not use 220 and you use 110 instead, double that charge time. I was seeing in further research I was doing without using 220, you're looking at 19 to 22 hours for a electric car. Not electric truck, electric car to charge, okay? So remember that. Thing I was definitely interested in, I know you are as well, because electric vehicles, it's all great and dandy and everything, but they cost $200,000. No one's going to be able to afford it, right? But the Chevy Volt is actually releasing at $35,000. And that's a 2022 model, guys. So not too bad. It does seat 5, but it does seem like seating 5 people in an electric car is the norm. All right, so let's jump over to the Tesla Model 3. On this one, we're looking at 283 horsepower, okay? Now, there are all electric vehicles out there that you can increase the power or have tri-motor or dual motors, and are they, it all just depends, okay? But remember, more power is more money, okay? Now, 283 horsepower and the distance of 358 miles, Tesla is actually leading it, so that's really nice, okay? For the Model 3, which the Model 3 comes through at 45,000, which is 10,000 above the Chevy Volt, but still not too bad. It does take an hour longer than the Chevy Volt at the 220 volts, so it's 8.5 to charge all the way up. It does seat 5 as well. And I was actually impressed by that. Chevy and Tesla. Tesla is more known as an exotic, a higher end vehicle, or that's what they started to be known as, right? But you always change, right? So now let's jump on to another great electric car. I love it. I know a lot of other people love it. It's the BMW i4. Okay, now this i4, it's nothing like the M series. If you want an M series, it's going to cost quite a bit more, but it will also be 400 horsepower more. It's crazy, okay? I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, do your thing. But let's go with the BMW i4. This thing's coming in at 335 horsepower on an electric car, which is not bad at all. The price on this is a little high, but it is a BMW. It's $55,000. The time to charge, BMW wasn't really clear on that, but we can pretty much suspect it's going to run the same amount of time as all the other cars at a 220 volt. All they said was under 10 hours. Okay, so pretty much 8-9 hours, you'll be fine. $55,000 for the price, which was a little high, but it is a BMW, so you can expect that nice luxury, which is always nice if you're commuting. And it seats 4 people. Last one, guys, and this is just so you get a real grasp of the 4 vehicles that I compared against each other. Let's go ahead and go with the 2022 Mustang. That is coming at 266 horsepower. So it seems like across the board, you have enough power to actually get on the highway, get up to highway speed to not slow down the flow of traffic, because there's no reason to be unsafe, right? There's already bad enough drivers out there. We don't need to make it even worse with slower vehicles. All right, the price on the Mustang is coming at $44,000, and the charge time is right about 8.5 hours. It seats 5 as well. Again, it is the new Mustang. A lot of people like it. Ford, BMW, Tesla, they all have their own charging stations, home charging stations that you can actually get. Chevy just released theirs as well, because I know they are excited about releasing their Chevy Silverado electric to compete against the F-150 Lightning. That's not releasing until 2023, fall of 23. So definitely be expecting that if you're one of those hardcore bow tie enthusiasts. So as we see from the distance of these 4 vehicles, everyday commuting is not bad at all. But what if we want to take a road trip? What if we want to take our Tesla and go across the country? Now, Tesla, if you go to their site, they're like, you can go from San Francisco to LA on one charge, which if you've ever done that drive, it's about 6.5 hours, okay? Boring as hell, but you go up the Pacific Highway, amazing, right? I'm not talking about that small road trip. I'm talking about a bigger road trip. What if you want to go from LA to Phoenix or LA to Denver? Okay, let's go to the East Coast. What if I want to go from New York to Cleveland? I don't know who would want to go to Cleveland, but it's just an example. New York to Philly. Okay, these are all different, options. But let me go ahead and I threw up all the miles that was different from New York to Philly and New York to Cleveland and all that. That way you see how many miles you have to go compared to how many miles the range of your electric vehicle has. Now there are supercharging stations all around the country, all around the world. Supposedly there's over 40,000 charging stations, and they've actually been working on getting these in the right place so you don't run out of a charge. If you do run out of a charge, well, that's a bridge you'll have to cross when you get there. I do have a new episode coming up, and this one really concerned me over the over the winter. I'm going to go ahead and do an episode on that because I want to know. Now we know that electric cars are great for commuters, road trips. You can go on road trips with electric cars, but I'm going to throw up a map, boom, of all the supercharging stations around the country. That way you see how many there are just in the United States alone. Okay? The thing I was concerned about is, let's say you run out of a charge, you go all the way down to empty or 0% charge, and you have to go to one of these supercharging stations. How long do you have to be there and have your vehicle hooked up to get 100% charge so you can finish your trip? How long does that take? I'm going to throw it up right there. That's how long it takes. So you'll be sitting for a little bit. All right, but you can watch a movie maybe, you can go to a restaurant, take a nice little trip. That way, when you jump behind the wheel again, you're focused and you can finish your drive. So remember, the average distance driven is 13,500 miles for the normal driver, and the sale price to the average median income of everyone here in the United States is what I'm going off of. If you want to know your average median income in your country, go to Google and type in your country and then average median income. It's going to come up with the most current one they have. But the current one here in the United States is $67,000 is the average median income, which means electric cars across the board are becoming a lot cheaper. That way the average person, the average income family can afford an electric car and actually get behind the wheels, finally, of that. So the size versus the price of the vehicles were pretty much all the same. They either seated 4 or 5 people, so it wasn't too bad of a difference. The power seemed close to each other as well. So it looks like electric cars are becoming definitely competitive with the gas cars that are still out there. So guys, if you did miss the automotive news update episode I put out the other day, Cummins just announced that they came out with a run on any fuel engine. Now that's talking nitrogen, natural gas, petroleum products, which is your gasoline, diesel, stuff like that. Propane, which is your natural gas as well. And it's just so many options. But I mean, what's the difference between what kind of mileage would you get off nitrogen compared to gasoline? Definitely stay tuned for that one, guys, because these are all questions I know a lot of people have, and I've been in the industry for over 24 years now. Okay, I build vehicles, I fix them, I get them back on the road. I love what I do. But you know what? The automotive industry is changing on a daily basis, and we have to stay up with it. Not only as mechanics, but the owner operator as well. So right here on the channel is your opportunity to become more of a front row seat person to your vehicle and actually understanding it and how you can save a lot of money by DIY auto repair right here on the channel with my step-by-step video guides. So if you haven't subscribed yet to the channel, hit that button right now. Hit the bell icon as well. That way you get notified when I release all my future videos in the future. And guys, hey, another episode, another day. Thank you so much, guys, for checking out another episode right here on the channel. If you do like today's video, make sure you smash that like button. It tells YouTube and myself I'm doing a great job. You guys love the information I'm putting out, and I'll continue making them. So, guys, thank you so much for checking out another episode right here on the channel. And until next time, keep on wrenching, guys. Take care.